There may be several sites around the world known for their ringing rocks, but there has been less investigation into the special property of these stones than you would expect, especially considering that humans have used them as musical and ritualistic instruments since before written history. So what's going on here? Our experts leave no stone unturned. We take the footage to our forensic audio analyst, Dr. Rob Maher, and deduce if the rocks were put here intentionally. First, he compares them to church bells.
The ringing rock have this characteristic here, which is loud and then it dies out as the ring goes away. And for the church bells here, we can see the same characteristic of the sound. You can see the start of that and then the decay. So the two sounds are distinctive. Our ear can tell the difference, but they share many of the same kind of characteristics.
So maybe these rocks were placed here on purpose to designate a spot as sacred as a church? But while the bell rocks share similar properties with the church bell, Maher says they don't show signs of being intentionally arranged.
The orchestral chimes will ring for a much longer period of time. They're designed very specifically to give that sustained sort of quality so that they will have a longer duration of vibration and give us a different sound quality than the random collection of minerals in that rock.
So if nobody put these ringing rocks here, where'd they come from? And why do they ring? NASA geologist Dr. Bob Anderson weighs in.
It looks like a pile of rocks that somebody might have dropped off. It's not. What it is, it's an old, what we call a plug or a batholith from a volcano that has been exposed and is breaking apart into all these pieces because of weathering.
A batholith is a large mass of intrusive igneous rock which forms from magma that's cooled after rising into the Earth's crust. Perhaps the most famous batholith is Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Anderson says the secret behind the ringing is most likely a combination of the mineral composition of the rocks and the way joining patterns have developed as the rocks have eroded. That's why they only ring here. The resonance depends on how they are connected.
Most of these rocks are basalts, and basalts are igneous rocks that come up from the underground. What happens over the years, the rocks are breaking apart. Each of those rocks, as long as they're in connection, has that resonant standing wave that'll ring as a unit. But when you start seeing all these little pieces, now you're making up the orchestra. And so all the little pieces have a different pitch and different tone as they break apart and weather away.
Our verdict, this is a natural geological phenomenon. But we still can't explain why people feel a mystical presence around the ringing rocks. If you make the trip out there, maybe you'll feel it too. Just make sure you leave the rocks as you find them.